Well, in that case, did Jerry and Kenneth confirm attendance, or even Heather?
Heather will not be able to make it. She is out of the country right now. And then Tammy will have to respond to us about our other two members. But I do think you can get it started when it comes. Jerry and Ken confirmed to be online.
Yeah, I saw that in the chat. All right, so maybe we'll just wait a couple more minutes to give Jerry and Kenneth a chance to join us, if that's okay.
Yep, that's okay.
Hi, Kenneth, how are you?
Hi, I'm sorry. I had trouble also. I thought it was just me.
No, it was, I think, all of us.
It's like, okay, let me see. Let me do this, let me do that. But I guess I'm here now.
Perfect. I think we're just waiting for Jerry, so we'll just wait another minute, and if not, we'll just go ahead and get started, okay?
Okay. And hello, everyone else.
Well, in the interest of time, I think we should probably call our meeting to order. And we do have quorum. I think we're only missing Jerry, so we should proceed. And now that we've called the meeting to order, the next item on our agenda would be to open the floor for public comment. I understand from Mickey that a couple people are present from the public, so this might be a period devoted to comments from the general public about items on the agenda, and no discussion, action, or vote may be taken on this agenda item. And Mickey, you mentioned there are a couple of people from the public. Is that correct?
Want to talk about? Do you have any questions for them? Brian's good, but Samir's in with Stephanie. So Stephanie will have. I'm going to say no.
Okay, in that case, if we don't have any comments from general public attending this meeting, we're going to proceed to the next item on our agenda, which is the approval of the agenda for today's meeting. And this will be an action item. Anybody wishes to move the approval of the agenda?
Move that we approve our October 8th, 2024 agenda. Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. Second.
Wherever it's at.
This is Alexia. I'll second that.
Thank you, Alexia. Those in favor of approving today's agenda, please say aye or raise your hand. Aye.
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 Those opposed, anybody? Abstentions? Okay, it seems to me that it was unanimously approved. So we can move to the next item, which is the approval of the minutes from the August 13 meeting. This is an action item. And anybody wishes to make a motion for the approval of the minutes of the August 13 meeting?
I'll move that we approve the minutes for our August 13, 2024 meeting. Jeff Ulmer.
Thank you, Jeff. Anybody wishes to second the motion?
Ken Ruffin wishes to make a motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you, Kenneth. Those in favor, please say aye or raise your hand or both.
Aye.
Aye.
Given that I was not present at the meeting, I will just abstain. Any other abstentions? Or anybody against? Nope. All right, so it's our minutes from the August 13 meeting have been approved, just with my abstention. Thank you all. And now we're gonna move to the next item on the agenda, which is the acknowledgement of those committee members who are still working on the training of the Nevada Ethics Commission program. Maybe just report the status. I'll just start by saying I completed that and reported that I think 3 meetings ago. And anybody else who has or wishes to acknowledge the training or report on progress, please go ahead and do so now.
I would like to report that I finished, but I think I still need a review because I think it was for like 20, 30, 50 things that I need to try and remember, but I did. And I got most of the information, but I will also review it just so that I'm still fresh with it and it's in my mind.
No worries.
Thank
Thanks,
you, Ken.
Ken.
So Jeff Ulmer, I have already completed this
What
training.
other projects do we have that are starting?
This is Alexia. I'm still working on it.
This is Jerry. I completed it.
This is Mary. I completed it as well.
Thank you all. We do need to get it done. So those of you that haven't done it, we'll reach out after the meeting and try to help get that facilitated. But thank you all for doing it. Appreciate it.
And I would just like to reiterate, this is something that all, city employees are asked to do. So it's not that we're being singled out in any way. And it's very important, as you know, because we are part of committees that select artists that complete work. We participate in the assignment and selection of some of these projects. So it's very important that we recognize all of the ethical implications that this carries, right? So while we're volunteers, we still have a huge responsibility to the community. So thank you all for working or completing this training. So we're going to move to the next item on our agenda, which is the report by staff regarding their activities. So this is not an action item.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so actually, I believe Eileen is with us. She could talk about this first one.
Yes, so for our public arts open call at the moment, we have the Wetlands Park Play Area Public Art Sculpture. We did extend the deadline for that for October 23rd by the end of the day. We do have a new date for our pre-submittal meeting, and that will be for Thursday, October 10 at 2 p.m. via WebEx, and we will go over how to apply for this public art project.
Great, thank you. And Stephanie, you're going over the gallery calls? Stephanie, we can't hear you. Stephanie, we still can't hear you.
Hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So our upcoming call at Winchester is for folk art. It's called Folk, juried by Brad McMullen. He is the folklore specialist at the Nevada Arts Council. This should be opening up real soon, and it's our first call through our submittable app. The deadline is Sunday, December 1st by midnight. And then another one coming soon is Afro Diasporic Open Call for the Rotunda Gallery. This is our annual Black History Month show. It's the celebration of everyone with African roots all over the world. And we will be, McCurdy's office from District B will be helping us out with this show. He will be partnering up.
So with the Poet Laureate, we are going to do the announcement of the Poet Laureate at the City of Las Vegas Book Festival. That's going to be on October 19th, which is a Saturday. There is some conflicting information going on right now. We're kind of back and forth with the staff over at City of Las Vegas on whether that person's going to be presented at 11 a.m. or 11:15. But either way, if you're at the book festival in that mid-morning time, please come visit the Discovery Tent and meet our new Poet Laureate. They will, I believe we're trying to get them to come to the next art committee meeting to maybe do a quick reading and tell you all a little bit about their program that they're going to be putting on for the next 2 years. And then additionally, we have the poetry program. So right now we're down a staff member. We'll probably be doing a call here pretty soon to look for a new poet coordinator. But for now, what we're doing is we're kind of hiring out. So we partnered up with Poetry Promise and have funded basically the each local poet that is going to come and do this poetry arcade with Avant Pop Bookstore and For Contemporary Art Gallery will be paid a stipend from the arts plan. And then, so that is going to be November 2nd and 3rd over there at Core Contemporary and Avant Pop Bookstore. And then also we have Ruben Medina, which will be doing the Saturday series at Winchester Dondero Cultural Center. It's going to be both live and online, and that is going to be October 12th, 2024. If you're looking for more details on that, reach out to us. I believe we have some social media postings running through Winchester.
For full scope for this month will be for Tuesday, October 15th, which is next Tuesday. We have Megan Hears. She is a visual and public arts supervisor from the city of Henderson. She will be covering opportunities and how to collaborate with the city of Henderson's public art department. And that'll be online via WebEx at 3 p.m. And for the one-on-one meetings, we have had a large amount of one-on-one meetings recently with the ZAP 16 and 17 call coming out. So we have had a lot of artists going up to us and asking for advice on how to put together their submission for ZAP. And we've also had a few others that have inquired about document templates and putting together their portfolios.
For youth education, we hired actually 5 artists to create temporary public art and teach public art to youth in different recreation centers. Their names are Julia Hall, Erica Muke, Kaylee Barnett, and Rebecca Goodman. The artwork that they are building will be 3-dimensional, and the themes they'll be exploring is history, environment of the site or community, social issues within youth who experience bullying, low self-esteem, and loneliness. The first workshop will be next week at the Clark County Government Center. It is a health and wellness fair for the Clark County employees. Currently, we have a show up at Pearson for our solo series program. We also have new space site at the Pearson Community Center. We just had a hanging system installed on one of the walls, and we have artwork on grids on the floor as well. Her workshop is Thursday, October 10th from 4 to 6 at Pearson Community Center. And she will teach a workshop on how to paint with emotion. Please come to the reception on Thursday, November 7th. It will also be at Pearson Community Center, and we will be featuring some spoken word from MVP Speaks. We just closed the call for Here and Now, Contemporary Art in Las Vegas at the Rotunda Gallery, juried by Heather Harmon. We had a lot of entries. We had about 176 submissions, and we are awaiting the selections. After the selections, the show will be exhibiting from October 21st through December 12th. And we will hold a reception on December 12th from 6 to 8. There should be some performance and refreshments as well. Today is the first day for the opening of our Day of the Dead exhibit for the 23rd Annual Life and Death Festival at Winchester Nondero Cultural Center. We are our juror, Arlene Alvarez, Executive Assistant to Councilwoman Diaz for the City of Las Vegas, was our juror. She selected 24 artworks out of 87 submissions. The reception here is incorrect. It's actually November 1st. During the festivities, our gallery exhibit will be indoors, of course, and there will be some vendors and performances outside of Winchester. Right now, we have Regrowth, juried by Jessica Orrick. These selections were based or centered around the themes of growth and regrowth. They were asked to consider the natural world as an ever-changing synthesis of plants, animals, earth, sun, wind, and water. And it goes through November 7th. And there will be, the reception already passed. So be sure to check this one out.
Okay, thank you, Stephanie. So with our community engagement, we have a budget of $80,000. These are various projects that some we're already in contract with, others are maybe in calls, or we're trying to get there to get a contract, right? So some of these things we might not have funding listed on, but I want to show to you that, the staff is working on several different things, even things that aren't being contracted at this time, right? So with the Women's History Call, it did close in late September, and we did receive 2 applications, so those are in review at this time. And then once we get one of the applicants on board, they have a very short time period to start gathering this information. The CO2 box, this is with a nonprofit. It's Alchemical Opus Foundation, and with its founder, Tony. What we're doing is we're looking for a permanent site, maybe at the government center, to house this box. The box is essentially, it has algae in it. It is cleaning the air and it's cleaning the CO2. It's cleaning out the air, right? From pollution, that type of thing. The idea is if Tony's nonprofit can get enough of these boxes in the downtown area, it starts to replace or produce cleaner air than approximately what 10 trees would be doing. So if he puts enough of these out there in that heat island, downtown area can actually see a drop in temperature. So it's kind of neat. It's a neat opportunity to be a part of with public art and kind of a more science-based project like this is. It's not uncommon, and I do have a few examples along the way that I could show if people have more questions about this one. Right now, we have to go to long-range planning. That's going to happen this week to see if we gain those approvals needed in Clark County in order to put it at the government center permanently. At the Life and Death Festival, Louis Ferrara Rico is to install Peso Neto, and he is proposing installing October 31st through November 3rd. The event is going to take place the 1st and 2nd. This one is the El Salvador Consulate mural. So the El Salvadorian Consulate is donating the mural. There will be some expense on the arts plan side to add GSS to this mural. Right now, this has to go over to long range planning as well for approval, for imagery approval, and for placement on the Cambridge Community Center. The artist is Herbert Alberto Portillo.
The Paradise Empowerment art is actually now completed. The vinyl has been installed and we have set a dedication date for the 22nd of October for 10 a.m. This will be at the Paradise Recreation Center, and we will have the commissioner present to speak to the public about our project.
Together for Better piano project, we did get the keys installed today. Unfortunately, the piano, as it sat this summer, the piano was a little bit vulnerable to begin with when we received the donation, and then sitting all summer outside in the yard, which is what it's supposed to do. There were some challenges today on tuning. So our piano tuner is going to come back after the temperature sets below 85 and work some magic on all of those little pins the pins were basically slipping, so he needs to add some glue to it. So this piano will never be like concert worthy piano playing. The tuning is going to be a little bit off on it. But the idea is we hope that we can leave it out through the year. By the end of the year, it probably, the wood part in it is going to crack and eventually fail. But the idea is to see, you know, is this piano being used by people, and what's that level of vandalism happening with it. And then moving forward, if we end up doing another one of these projects, it's bringing on our piano tuner early in the project. So when somebody wants to gift a piano, having them go to that home and inspect the piano before accepting the donation. I think we'll get much better results at that point. But it'll be out. We'll set up a dedication after Renaissance Fair. We'll look to set a dedication and invite all of you to it.
Mickey, a question about the piano.
Yes.
It just occurred to me that it presents a fantastic idea for perhaps film students or people who are interested in doing, you know, some form of recording of how people engage the piano, because that could also be a very powerful piece on its own, separate from, you know, understanding whether people use it or not, but just seeing that interaction, you know, and making it a nice, probably short or a little YouTube video that could be an interesting activity, whether even for prospective students that wish to study film, or, you know, could be high school students, could be even UNLV students. So I just really don't know how we could proceed, but it'd be great to alert these constituencies about kind of an interesting opportunity for a nice sort of video story that could be made, right?
Yeah, that's great. I know that UNLV's film department is doing a lot of community engagement right now. They're kind of revamping their department. So we could certainly attend one of those meetings and kind of let them know about this. We do have we have a filmmaker that is working on our Pearson project that Stephanie will talk about a little later. And Zachary,
bless you, Ken.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry.
You're all right. Zachary is just a talented young individual. Maybe he'd want to do something surrounding it too. Also, speaking of videos, our marketing team in Parks and Rec has a videographer that they hire out as a vendor. And so that videographer is going to do a short video highlighting this program, probably interviewing a couple different artists, some of the staff, and kind of going over overview of all of the different programs. So we'll be excited to show that as well.
Thank you, Mickey.
Yeah. Okay, so conservation, I don't believe Brett is online. We have a lot of funding out on conservation right now. You can see one of them is sitting on a FY24, which is a good thing. We have 130,000 we're budgeted for, and we're hitting at that threshold already for this year, which is a good thing. So ZAP monthly maintenance, that is the budget that you're seeing there, that goes directly to one of our vendors that helps remove all of this graffiti. So that's Gorilla Property Services. If you look in September, they removed 41 tags from the Vegas area. Brett also can remove tags, and Brett oversees some of the ZAP programs that are not as accessible, right? So each month he'll go out to Laughlin, check on those pieces, or the stadium district is his charge to go out there and remove graffiti from the stadium. So there's a few other places as well. Of course, Brett oversees this program, and he is then capturing monthly what's going on with all of our art pieces in the county, and he's reporting that stuff on a program called Past Perfect. We are completed with the 7 Magic Mountains, so this will be the last time you kind of see it in this slide. I know that while we were apart from each other, or since the last time we've met, there was a lot of news that came out about 7 Magic Mountains moving, but that is proposed to move after all of this. So there's 2 more years on the lease. We'll pay another $100,000 before it ultimately leaves our community. For Reach District, I just didn't have time. Brett had messaged me right before the meeting that Vicki Richardson has reached out on behalf of all the artists. So I'm excited to see where that is, what she was talking about, and start moving this project into the right direction. The community deserves a nice public art piece. And right now there's just a lot of graffiti on this piece, and it should get resolved. It's a beacon right there in the parking lot of Pearson, and we want to represent good, clean art anywhere on our facilities. We need to look to address this piece. Dream Machine, Wayne Littlejohn recently went over to Dream Machine, just kind of cleaned it up. This is a great picture from him hanging in that nest and cleaning this piece. We do this every other year, maybe every year. Just depends if on timing and if we could get Wayne out to complete this. But he basically waxes, dusts off everything, and then re-wax the sculpture, shines it back up. On Desert Diamonds Organic Study, Brett has, he's working on a quote, but he's basically working on a quote to get that anti-graffiti removed off of this piece, and then start to look at how we go about repairing it, or what fixtures we're going to do on it. If you remember last year, the lighting did get all replaced. Now we're over to the projects. You can see we have 20 projects funded. There are some that are on hold. You can see where everyone's assigned to these projects, and then how much funding is allocated to each project.
So with the Stadium District mural, we apologize for the delay, but we are still under researching the funding for the cost of a projection mural. We're waiting for feedback from a couple of previous projection murals that they've had around the United States, and we're hoping to get a better understanding on how to go about doing a projection mural for the stadium. ZAP 18 currently is, we are identifying some of the boxes we thought were water district. It looks like we have different owners for a couple of those boxes, and we are currently trying to contact them to get approvals. Once that is done, we can get started on ZAP Searchlight, hopefully by the end of this year.
This one's an assignment to Homero, and right now, when we followed up with Real Property Management, they said they were still in design of that new building that's going to go on this property. And so they don't have any parameters for us to be able to build off to get this call up and going.
ZAP 16 and ZAP 17 just currently closed on the 3rd. We had a great amount of submissions totaling to 71. Unfortunately, we had to disqualify 28 of those submissions, but we do have a good 43 submissions that have passed internal review and are currently being evaluated by our jurors. We do have a few statistics as to the submitters for this project. We have one here that shows our age groups, and we also have one that shows the gender and how many types of people we have submitting for our ZAP.
So this is our first project with using Submittable. And so these are things that we're able to do in Submittable, like pulling different stats, and we'll improve on it as we work, through the system and try to figure out. There's some repeat things happening, like maybe like that down in the gender, you see that there's blanks, there's decline the state, non-binary, but then other gender. So I think we're going to kind of try to merge it where it just have a little bit shorter data statistics there. And then of course we're capturing zip codes, so trying to figure out how we could show those items as well, and ethnicity. Okay, so Homero is also working on the family courthouse, the courtyard murals. And as of October, he did receive the images back from the 3 finalists. The jury has selected one of those artists. But a requirement of this call is for that selected artist to pass a background check, and their subcontractors to also pass that background check. So until that happens, we don't want to unveil that person, and but hopefully by November we'll be able to show you that design.
Last week was the community engagement workshop with Mike Norris and his teammate or his assistant, Mohammed Mubarak. There was 12 participants, and most of them consisted of park staff that have a connection with Pearson Community Center, as well as community centers, both all ages. It was a good mix, and they did the community web. So one person would talk about themselves and their connection with the historic West Side, and after they were finished talking, they passed the yarn across, and then that person would do the same thing, so on and so forth. And it did create a spider web and represent connection. In addition, Zachary Freed, the videographer that was mentioned earlier, he will be documenting the mural process at Pearson, and he will be interviewing staff and community members as well. The next step is for Mike to meet with Commissioner McCurdy of District D to not only check out the design, but to receive feedback as well. We also have a community survey going around. There is no end date to it, so if you have time, please send me an email And I will send you that link to the survey so that you can also share your thoughts, or if you know anyone that can share their thoughts and stories on what they would like to see on the murals.
On temporary art funding, when the management company did the permit, it was permitted only for one tower, but there was 2 pillars. So they've had to do some revision on that permit to get that second identical pillar added on. So we're working towards that and bringing on a QAA to watch over that install. Past that, it's unfortunate to hear, but Josh Levine, who was the owner of Fired Up Management, passed away early September. So it's been challenging. His staff members, Vicky, has been trying to help out and trying to kind of shore up and close out some of these projects that Fired Up Management has with the county and other entities. And yeah. So with that, I'm going to move on to the next one. Walnut Recreation Center playground mural. Homero's working on this piece. And we did circle back around to the commissioner's office, and so please ignore 10-2 question about discussing a mural invitation only. We are going to do this call as open to everyone. What we're going to do is also extend it internationally for this call, and then just keep our evaluation committees how they are, do a complete call for qualifications, and go that route with this mural. Hollywood Recreation Center. Homero has a meeting with the jury at the end of this month to completely define that narrative and the goals of this project so we can get this out. It's $64,000, so that will run through submittable, and hopefully we can see it by the end of the year out for the public to apply for. So Desert Breeze events area sculpture. The artwork is here in town. We do have some gaps in the plans that need to be kind of fulfilled before our permit can be really ready to kind of start making those modifications that need to be happening on this piece. And the hope is that we can still move forward with a January 1st having this piece installed. Southwest Ridge Part 2, there hasn't been any movement on this piece. Hoping that in the next month or two, I can find some time to wrap my head around this piece and get the evaluators back on board and get it up and going. Southwest Ridge, same thing, just with everything going on with some of the other projects, I haven't had a chance to really get to this project. And that would be the same with Sunset Signature art piece as well.
And then with the wetlands, like I said earlier, we are still, the call is still open. We're still waiting for the pre-submittal meeting, which is scheduled for October 10 at 10 a.m. via WebEx. We have extended the deadline for the 23rd of October by the end of the day.
And then before we close out on staff report, I just wanted to let the committee know that hopefully in the next month or so, the county should be going out for that call for that program supervisor position, which was my former position. That position is specifically for project managing public art projects. So it's obvious with everything that's going on with all of our projects that it'd be great to bring a person on. We will promote it through Americans for the Arts and encourage anyone that has any project managing experience to apply for that position. That's it. Do you have questions for us?
Jeff Fulmer, I had a question about Seven Magic Mountains with that moving, whether we're truly on the hook for $100,000 in maintenance. If it's going to be moved there, Clark County's not really going to reap the benefits of the money that we're putting into it if it's just moving the next year.
We wouldn't pay for it after it moves. We're paying for it until it moves. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think that we would need to. Well, I don't know. I don't know how much it's going to deteriorate in the next 2 years, or whether we can maintain it or have it repainted or whatever is happening one more time instead of because obviously when it gets trucked up there, it's going to get damaged. It's going to need to be repainted. There's no reason to repaint it and maintain it the day before it heads up there. That's kind of my thought.
Yeah, you would hope that the county's not paying for it to get repainted the day it moves up there. That's for sure. I get that part of it.
I have another question regarding Seven Magic Mountains. The Nevada Museum of Art is the owner of it, correct?
I don't know, Terry, specifically if they're the owner of it. They are the leaser of it. I don't know if they've purchased it outright or if they're continuing to lease it from the artist.
Because my thought was if they are owners, how much are they contributing to the upkeep?
Unfortunately, I would say that I don't think this committee can chime in on it. You chimed in on it quite a few years ago when it started, right? So like 3 years ago. And then it moved over to the Board of County Commission that approved the 5-year contract. So we have a contract with them. We're kind of in that boat where it's out of our hands a bit.
Okay.
So I understand where you guys are coming from. I don't communicate with them. That is done through my administration in Parks and Rec. So don't really have much of a connection with it to give you detailed information.
Just thinking about saving some money.
According to just a quick Google search, it does look like it's owned by the Nevada Museum of Art, but I don't have any verification. Google tells me what Google tells me.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. As I read things, it would seem that they are in some type of contractual agreement with the artist, which isn't
we were
uncommon.
definitely willing to help fund some of the maintenance for the benefit of the people of Clark County, but not necessarily for the benefit of the Nevada Museum of Art or the people of Washoe County.
Yeah. But I can tell you, like, the funding in the past, I mean, they have had to repaint it every single year and kind of upkeep with all the graffiti issues that surround it. So there's a lot of graffiti that happens on a day-to-day basis on that piece, unfortunately. I haven't driven down there this year to see, when, but usually right after we send money, it seems like they're getting it taken care of.
But sort of to recap the questions from both Jeff and Jerry, it seems that the county is contractually obliged to do that maintenance, right?
Yes.
There's that. So, but I second, the thoughts of both Jeff and Jerry, right? So if a piece is to be moved, then, it seems from our perspective a little bit of a waste of resources that could be applied to other projects, right? But again, we understand that there's a contract, so there is just that, right?
So be it.
Yep. Are there any other questions for either Mickey or the staff about their report? Okay, hearing none, we're going to move to our next item on the agenda, which is to identify any emerging issues by the committee at future meetings. Comments made during this portion of the agenda by individual members shall refer solely to proposals for future agenda items, and any discussion shall be limited to whether such proposed items shall be placed on a future agenda. So no discussion regarding the substance of any such proposed topic shall occur, and no action shall be taken. Are there any emerging issues that the committee members wish to bring up for discussion or inclusion in future agenda items?
I have an idea. While we were getting our reports on the poet laureate, I wondered, if there were any interest in maybe having a musician or another performing artist laureate or a visual artist laureate. It seems like the poet laureate is something that the county has really embraced, and it seems like a successful arm of our program. So I was just curious about those. I also pulled up Google for that, and it does seem like it's something that isn't uncommon in other cities as well. It seems like we haven't gone into the direction of other performing arts, especially.
I could definitely, if Alfredo wants to entertain it, or if you had the quorum want to entertain it, then we could put it on an agenda item for you all to talk about.
I would definitely be interested in having that discussion, in that, there should be, I think, opportunities for other performing artists, particularly since we do have plenty of, people who are being trained, both UNLV and, possibly CSN in performing arts. So even Nevada State College. So from my perspective, I think Jeff's suggestion is a good one. I don't know how the other committee members feel. I mean, do we need to get some other voices and maybe support or not this for inclusion in a future agenda?
This is Mary. I was just curious, is there like is there anything in like the county public art master plan or just anything regarding like the purview of the arts program? That, you know, because obviously there's an inclusion for poetry, but is it, you know, is that something that's like fostering performing arts? Is that part of what we're supposed to be doing?
It's, well, one thing would be, we don't have a master plan. We have an arts plan, and which is an annual plan that staffing and the art committee kind of put together. Your action as committee members is to you know, to develop those scopes of different projects. So where I see this is having you all talk about it, seeing what avenues you would like to see as laureates go. And then I have to kind of run that back through the county system to see if there's an appetite there before it would go on to your budget cycle for approval. So I think it's entertainable. I think this committee would need to flush it out a bit, and then
I feel that you know, one of the interesting sides of what Jeff was suggesting is that I wonder if, for example, an artist is working on a mural, right? A composer could work on the theme of the mural or something related to it, so that at the opening, a piece could be performed that you know, could be a nice complement. And as we do all of that, again, if a videographer could record the you know, piece or the concert, as well as the event where the mural may be presented, you know, that I think works in many ways as a reinforcement and as a way to sort of continue to advance opportunities for artists, be it, you know, people that are videographers or musicians or performers of some kind, along with obviously the visual arts, which is sort of the main focus of the work that we have supported, right?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to, you know, this skirts on what's happening with City of Henderson with their arts committee that they're in the works of kind of developing right now, and going to they'll have a meeting this month. Is a hybrid of performing arts and visual arts, so it kind of encompasses all of their arts and culture sections. And yeah, let me put it on the agenda. We're not really supposed to talk about it in detail.
Yeah, just
and then I can kind of give you a background of this program and people that have supported it in the past.
Thank you, Miki. I think that would be an interesting discussion for the committee to have. So whether it ends up being supported or not, I think it probably would be an interesting discussion. No doubt about it.
Definitely. Before you shut down this agenda item, I did want to remind the board too that there are elections will be had at the next meeting, and just a reminder that way people can talk amongst themselves and see where they want to be at for the next board elections. The only restrictions we have in your bylaws says that the chair can only run for 2 terms. So, just a quick reminder.
Thank you, Miki. That's good to remember.
And Alfredo's just on his first term, right?
And that's correct. Yeah. Yep.
Sounds like an easy choice.
It goes so fast. I mean, I feel like I'm in my first month, you know, but I guess I'm about to complete a year. So, any other items that perhaps we should consider for inclusion in future meeting? Well, hearing none, I guess we can move to the next item on our agenda, which is number 8, comments by the general public. I understand that we have a couple of people from the general public, and this is a period devoted to comments from them about matters relevant to the board or council's jurisdiction. No vote may be taken on a matter not listed on the posted agenda. Comments are limited to 3 minutes, so please, keep that in mind as you contribute your comments to this meeting.
So Alfredo, we do have Brian here.
I'm Brian Woodmill. I just stopped in. I wanted to I learn a lot every time I sit in one of these, so definitely wanted to check it out. But my main interest was the Wetlands Monument project. Since that was canceled, I just wanted to get it.
Thank you.
And
That's
I
great.
saw that it says online that it's a $50,000 thing, and this is $250,000.
Yes. So with wetlands, we kind of broke it up into projects. So this is our first project at wetlands. We will have more money for.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And while we say it's 50,000, it's 100,000. Just portions of that goes to additionally to the GC for building that stuff.
Gotcha.
So everything's kind of pieced out. So the
Okay.
artist just has to focus on the artwork and not have to focus on all of that construction end of it.
Okay. That was really all I had, but I just wanted to say hi.
Yes,
Thanks.
and thank you for joining our meeting.
Bye.
Great to have you.
We do have one other person. They are with Stephanie, if they want to say hello.
How's it going, guys? Thanks for letting me stay in. I'm okay. Thank you.
Well, we appreciate having guests from the general public, and any contributions you make to our meetings always make our meetings better. So our next meeting will be on Tuesday, November the 12th. And I'm looking forward to seeing everyone then. And I suppose we're ready to adjourn. So have a great rest of your week, everyone.
Thank you.
all.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye-bye.